Hey guys, Ultra Maximus here. Make sure to click all the things. Subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. And follow me on all the social medias. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links in the description below. Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another custom video review. And today we're going to take a look at a custom Masters of the Universe Origins figure, and it's Skeletor. Now, I actually got this particular figure by accident. I had ordered a Skeletor figure, so way back when the Mattel Origins line first came out, Skeletor was actually kind of hard to find. Not like today where he's a super peg warmer. When the first He-Man and Skeletor and Battle Cat and Prince Adam and the Sky Sled first came out, this guy was the hardest one to find, and I could not find this guy. So I ordered him online from, I want to say it was Big Bad Toy Store for about retail price, and forgot about it. And then I found him at a Walmart here in Greenwood, Indiana, locally. And the next day, this guy showed up in the mail. So I was like, well, do I take one back, or what should I do? Maybe trade. And I ended up deciding, you know what? I'm going to do a custom figure. And that's what he did. So, very cool. I decided to go with the kind of 2000X Motu design for Skeletor here. I wanted to bring some, bits and pieces out in the actual sculpt and kind of tone down the face a little bit. It was a little too Sammy Terry looking for me with the stark greens and the red eyes and everything. So I did a little tone down there on the face. Now, all I did was some repaints. I repainted, obviously, the face, like I'd said, and then the chest armor, the leather bands, added some black and some brass buttons everywhere. And then I painted the bones and added the red jewel, the Havoc staff. Obviously, I made the goat head bone etic with some brass highlights, and then added the kind of the leather loincloth with the brass buttons and all that kind of good stuff, and then took the sword, had silver and some brass there, and then the feet were an issue, still kind of are an issue. They're a little bit dark compared to the rest of Skeletor, but it looks so much better than initially. Initially, I had the feet done wrong, and there's two major kind of gripes I have about my own work here on this. One is with the sword. The silver paint on the sword just didn't want to stick to the plastic, and then I painted it black and then put the silver over it. And the silver just really wasn't all that great, so it looks a little bit rough, but that's okay. It kind of has like an evil, rough vibe to it. Like it's not quite as polished as what He-Man would have. And then the feet, initially I used a light blue paint on it, and it didn't look right at all. And someone on Facebook pointed out, I love everything except the white feet. I'm like, well, they're actually light blue. But so I went ahead and I got a darker blue paint out of my paint collection, and it's a little bit darker than the rest of the figure, but it definitely looks better than the light blue feet. In fact, let's go ahead and roll a montage of how bad the light blue feet looked.
Number one, the feet. I don't know how well the camera's going to show or not, but the blues don't match. And it depends on the light that it hits. If it's, I don't know, if it's a really bright light, I don't know how the light's going to affect. I'll have to look in post. But it kind of almost looks like you got socks. The blue on the feet is this light blue. Do not use this. Again, it doesn't quite match the blue, and the more you look at it, the more it sticks out. Yeah, and then the feet, I want it to look, more like you would see with the 2000X, and again, I just need to find a better blue. And then finally, look at the legs of the figure. This is the weakest point of the custom. Totally get it. I use a light blue that doesn't match the blue the rest of the figure. The biggest problem, of course, are the feet. But again, I said it time and time. I'm not trying to compare myself because I know it doesn't look right. They kind of look like blue socks.
So, like I said, I didn't care for the light blue feet, so I went ahead and repainted it, and I think it looks a lot better. It's not perfect, but that's okay. It still looks pretty damn cool. Now, as far as articulation on the figure, it did not change at all. This is a total repaint. So if you want to check out the articulation on the figure, I'll add a card to the original review right here. So yeah, overall, I'm definitely happy with the piece, especially the front armor. I think that looks amazing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the paints that I used on this figure. So here we have all the paints that I used on this particular figure. Most of these paints I got at Walmart, so they're very, very easy to find. This one particular paint, this is a Citadel paint. It's a Royal Guard, or was it Temple Guard? I'm sorry, Temple Guard Blue. And I got this at the Game Preserve here in Greenwood, Indiana. I think it was like a couple bucks. It wasn't too expensive. Maybe $3 total. The rest of these paints were anywhere from like 59 cents to $1.29, so not too expensive. So for all the brass bits, I use this metallic copper, and I have to say this was probably the best paint of all of them. Well, one of them, definitely the best of the metallics. It stuck to all the plastic very, very well, coated well, dried well, looks amazing. And then I used this metallic silver here for the sword, and it did not stick very well at all. In fact, it was probably the worst paint of all of them. And I'm not really sure why. I don't know if it's just watered down or just not a very good paint. And then for the jewel in the middle of the armor, I used a metallic red. And this wasn't too bad. I had to put about 3 coats on it to really get the look I was going for. Again, the copper was the best of all the metallics. I wish that all of their metallic paints were like that. All the blacks were a, what is this, pure black. Pure flat black, and that worked really, really well. Now for the bones, I used an antique parchment, so that gave a really nice bony color. The skull was actually done with a light yellow, so that's where that came from. And then I used a chocolate bar brown for the horns on the staff. So yeah, all in all, it came out pretty well. And with all the paints, you know, like I said, I got most of them from Walmart, except for the one I got the Game Preserve. I mean, that's less than $10 worth of paint right there, so not too shabby. So taking a closer look at the custom paint on this figure, again, I toned down the face. I think that came out pretty well. He looks much more menacing, got rid of a lot of the green and the red. I love the brass buttons on his shoulders, the black shoulder pieces. The Havoc staff, I think the goat head looks a little bit creepy, or sheep head, whatever it is. The brass looks really, really nice. Not anything going on the back side of the figure. In fact, you notice that the sword was not painted on the back because there was really no need to do that. It was all about, you know, that front-facing look. And I think those, you know, leather bits on the shoulders being black and brass look good. The sword looks good with the silver and brass. Yeah, just looks evil. And then looking at the midsection of the figure, now I did a black wash over the entire figure to kind of dirty him up a little bit and really show off the musculature. The harness piece I really, really do like. The brass and the bone, the jewel, that looks good. The brass on his belt and then the black leather bits with the brass buttons look good. The sword, there's some brass highlights on. Again, nothing done on the back. I actually did nothing on the waist. There are the buttons on his belt underneath the kind of loincloth, but I didn't do anything with it because, well, you don't see it. So I spent more time with that skull and jewel and then the loincloth, and I think it just came out wonderfully cool. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure. Again, I just kind of black washed the upper legs. I did nothing to the purple bits. I added some black claws on his feet, and then I painted the darker blue on there. It looks so much better than the light blue, but it is slightly darker than the rest of the figure. But that's okay. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't look too bad, especially from a distance. And like I said, oh, it looks so much better than that light blue. And yeah, I'm definitely digging the look for sure. For comparison, here we have Skeletor with Skeletor. So both of my Origins Skeletor, the repaint and the original manufacturer deco, and wow, what a difference a paint job can make on a figure. I love the sculpt. I think it's a lot of fun. And I do like the original manufacturer look, but you know, there's something about getting a little bit of custom, just a little bit of a deluxe paint can really change it up. like I said, this is kind of a 2000X inspired look. You know, I think the bones in the chest armor and on the ram skull really brings, you know, some brightness out, and adding the black and the brass bits on there, and of course painting the sword. Now, I was going to paint the bat on the armor, the chest armor, black, but I thought it was going to be a little too much black because we've got it on the loincloth and the shoulders, and I wanted some of that purple to naturally stand out, so I left it the way it is, and I'm kind of glad I did, and, well, the rest of it was just sheer laziness. But overall, I think they look really cool. I think the face looks a lot more toned down and a lot more evil. I don't know. Give it a big thumbs up if you like the evil Skeletor. And of course, we have to take a look at Skeletor on Panthera, and I think these guys look really, really cool together. I mean, this looks fantastic. I love the way Panthera looks. It's a very simple design, but it looks really, really good. And the custom paint on Skeletor here with the 2000X deco, very cool, very, very nice, and wow, yeah, it just really pops sitting on top of this nice dark purple and green Panther, and all the touch-up paints just really sing here. Kind of makes me want to do a custom on one of the cats. I was thinking about doing a copycat for Faker, because I know we're getting ready to do a Faker. If you think I should do a copycat repaint of Battle Cat, leave a big thumbs up and leave a comment down below. So, final thoughts on the custom 2000X redeco of the Origins Skeletor here. I really like it. You know, I'm tooting my own horn here, but I like the black leather plates on the shoulders. The bones on both the chest armor and on the ram, I think, look really, really good. I love the brass highlights on the Havoc staff. I think that looks good. I didn't do much on the back at all, you know, like I kind of showed there. And then the back of the sword has no paint on it because there's really no need for it. I think the feet are a little bit too dark blue, but it's hard to match that paint up perfect and looks so much better, like I said, from the light blue and as you'd seen. But I really think it's the brass buttons that really kind of come out. And not only, I don't think I mentioned it, there's also the brass buttons on the underbits of the armor, which is very, very cool. I think that looks pretty cool as well. But, yeah, the sword looks a little roughed up, but it should, because he's, you know, it's evil Skeletor. Got the black fingernails. You know, it was not hard to paint this at all, and I think, you know, I don't know, it's just me. It's fun to paint them up. It's fun to change them. I think a good deco can really change the look of a character, and this could be something that would be a very easy redo and refresh for this figure for sure. And yeah, get out there, get those figures off the shelf, do some customs, you know, have fun with it. So yeah, there he is, my custom 2000X Origins Skeletor. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. That helps the algorithm a lot so other people can see this. Join the conversation over Facebook on my fan page. Upload pictures of your collections, add links to your videos. I would love to see those. Follow me over on Instagram at Ultra Maximus Reviews or Twitter at Ultra__Maximus. And as always, look for more videos in the future. Hey guys, thanks for watching. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Be sure to click all the things, subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell for new videos. And follow me on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links in the description below.